أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم، والحمد لله رب العالمين، وصلى الله على محمد وآله الطيبين الطاهرين. اللهم وفقنا وسائر المشتغلين للعلم والعمل الصالح بحق محمد وآل محمد. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجهم والعن عدوهم. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and his progeny said, the people who have the greatest status with Allah on the day of judgment are those who roamed the earth the most, advising his creatures. قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله إن أعظم الناس منزلة عند الله يوم القيامة أمشاهم في أرضه بالنصيحة لخلقه. Okay, with Islamic laws we reach to issue number 3, that's on page 5. The issue said, when a number of learned persons who possess the capacity to identify a mujtahid or an a'lam certify that a particular person is a mujtahid or an a'lam, provided that one is satisfied by their statement. First of all, who are those learned persons? Learned persons, it means the most knowledgeable persons. What we call them in Hawza, the scholars, or Bahith Kharij, or near to be a mujtahid. So those persons whom we should take in consideration their statement when they say that this person, he is the most knowledgeable person, we have to follow them. This number one. Number two is that we are satisfied with what? With their statement. Sometimes people whom they are really scholars, but we are not satisfied with them. As nowadays, with all sorry to say, some of the intruders whom they consider themselves as scholars, and when they are saying something which are different or completely the opposite or in contrast with the Islamic laws, so we cannot be satisfied what they are saying. Yes, most of the people outside of Hawza, they saw those people whom wearing the uniform with the turban. Okay, they will say that they are mujtahid or marji' or alim or scholar, but in reality they are not. They are not. So we have to take care. Now, our topic is how to mention a jurist, how to mention a mujtahid. One of the ways we are talking about that we have two scholars whom they study, for example, in Najaf with Bahith Kharij, and I came as a normal person, Ammi, okay, and ask who is the jurist or who is the a'lam. Maybe I have two, A and B, they are what? They are jurists, they are mujtahids, but which one is the a'lam? I don't know. As Ammi person, as a normal person, I don't know who is the a'lam. So I'll go to ask whom? وَاسْأَلُوا أَهْلَ الذِّكْرِ إِن كُنتُمْ لَا تَعْلَمُونَ. So I have to ask the people whom they are in consideration or in their specialty to recognize or to mention who is the most knowledgeable person. And as we explain, those two persons, they should be Bahith Kharij, and not anybody who is saying I am Bahith Kharij, we will follow him and take his statement. No. So we have to be sure. These things are related to our what? To our imitation, to our deeds. I have to be careful. I have to be careful to search about who are they. I'm going to ask Are they real scholars? Are they trustful persons? Are they reliable persons? You understand what I'm saying, inshallah? Yes. Any question? Good. Yes.
Is there any certification about this person being met himself by Mujtahid?
That's great. The person who considers himself a Mujtahid, definitely, I'm talking about the jurist himself, definitely he cannot say that I am a jurist by himself. We are not following any person claims that he is a Mujtahid or a jurist. But we will see what his teacher or his previous teacher said about him. Because, for example, in our class right here, I am the teacher. I can mention this person or that student. He is what? He is the most knowledgeable among the rest of the students. But the student himself, he cannot what? He cannot mention himself as the best student in the class. For example, Samahat Sayyid al-Sistani, may Allah give him his prolonged life, he was mentioned by Sayyid Abul Qasim al-Khou'i, his teacher, okay, to be what? To be a Mujtahid. But if Sayyid al-Sistani mentioned himself as a Mujtahid, we are not going to follow him. You understand what I mean? One of the scholars, while Sayyid Abul Qasim al-Khou'i was alive, he recognized himself as what? As a jurist, as a Mujtahid. We cannot follow him. We cannot follow. We need your teacher to recognize you as what? As a jurist. This is number one. Number two, nowadays in Najaf, in Qom, we have what? We have many jurists. But why Sayyid al-Sistani is a recognizable person? Why?
Because the learned person said that he is the most.
Okay, we agreed with this. But we have also late Muhammad Sa'id al-Hakim, rahmatullahi alayh. We have Sheikh Muhammad Ishaq al-Fayyad, Allah yahfaظah. Okay? Huh?
His teacher mentions him.
We said that. But there is another reason I mentioned before. Yes.
In previous lecture, we did
that Imam Sahib al-Zaman, Ajallah Faraja Sahla Makhraja, he himself, because this position, it is his what? His assistant. So he has to choose which one will be his assistant.
Another question. Concerning the learned persons, is it a must to be two, or there is just one that I feel satisfied with?
If we said that in the previous issue last week, if he is one and you are satisfied with him and he is a reliable person, it doesn't matter.
So it is not a must to be two.
If there are two, it's okay. It's okay. Now issue number 4. If one generally knows that the verdicts of Mujtahid do vary in day-to-day matters, that means the jurists, they have what? One said it is halal, the other one said it is haram. You know, there is a contradict in verdicts. So which one I'm going to follow? If one generally knows, that means a follower, a mukallaf, that the verdicts of Mujtahid do verdicts of Mujtahid. Here, this person is not following a Mujtahid. This mukallaf is not following a specific mujtahid yet, but he knows that there are two mujtahids, mujtahid A and mujtahid B. They are the most knowledgeable, the most learned among the rest of the contemporary mujtahids. But which one of the two is the most knowledgeable? He doesn't know. What he is going to do, he is going to follow their rules now, or their fatwas. Now, in such a topic, the same topic, Mujtahid A said this topic, it is halal to do it. Mujtahid B said this topic is haram to do it. Now, what he is going to do? There is a contradict in this issue, in this matter. So, if one generally knows that the verdicts of mujtahids do vary in day-to-day matters, and also that some of the mujtahids are more capable than the others. Look, and also that some of the mujtahids are more capable than the others. But one of them, either A or B, is more capable than the others of what? Of deducing or taking the fatwa from its sources. But the mukallaf, the imitator, he does not. Who is he? But is unable to identify the most knowledgeable one. Then he should act on. Now, what he is going to do? He should act on a precaution based on their verdicts. He should act on a precaution, and we explained precaution last week or before it. In our example, that this mujtahid A has halal verdict and mujtahid B has haram fatwa. So, as a precaution, I am a follower, I'm an imitator, I'm not going to do this act. Why? Because one of the mujtahids said it is what? It is haram. This is how to work on a precaution. And if he is unable to act on a precaution, now, if this mukallaf, alaykum salam rahmatullah, and if this mukallaf is unable to act according to precaution, not all the people, they know how to act according to precaution. And if he is unable to act on a precaution, then he should follow a mujtahid. He supposes to be the most knowledgeable. He should follow. Now it is his choice. From the beginning, it wasn't his choice. He should act on a precaution. If he does not know how to act on a precaution, then he should choose one of these jurists, one of them, either mujtahid A or mujtahid B, to choose them. Which one you think he is the most knowledgeable? You cannot ask first, and you cannot recognize which one, but which one you think. You understand what I'm saying? For example, I have two students. I'm not a teacher, but I have two students. I saw they are working hard, okay, and doing their homeworks, and they are inquiring in a class. But which one is the most learned one? Which one is cleverer than the other one? I don't know. So I think A is most clever than the other one. Alaykum salam. I'll choose that. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Why? If you ask, this person he is also a jurist. This person, he is also a jurist. Why you choose this one and not the other one? We said both of them, they are what? They are jurists. They are mujtahideen. Number one. Number two, this follower, هذا المكلف, he cannot recognize which one is the most knowledgeable. Number two, he cannot act according to precaution. Is this understood, inshallah? Any question? Good. And if he decides that they are all of equal status, then he has a choice. So number three, if he say according to his knowledge, even if he does not have knowledge, we ask him which jurist is most knowledgeable. If he has the ability or any assumption, he will say, for example, jurist A. Okay, go and take the verdict of jurist A and act accordingly, or according to it. And if he said, no, I don't know which one is the most knowledgeable, I think both of them, they are equal in their knowledge. Okay, choose anyone and follow him. It doesn't, and he is going to say, is my act will be acceptable by Allah subhanahu? Definitely will be acceptable by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Issue number 5. There are 4 ways of obtaining the verdicts of a mujtahid. Now, I am what? I am a follower. I am a mukallaf. And I want to take the verdict from the mujtahid. And this verdict, I want to act accordingly. So what shall I do? How can I take this verdict from mujtahid? Here we have 4 ways of taking or obtaining the verdicts from the mujtahid. One of the ways is that you talk to the mujtahid by yourself directly. Okay? To the mujtahid, you talk to the mujtahid, you ask him, and he will give you what? He will give you the verdict. Number 2 is that you have 2 scholars. Number 1, when a man hears from the mujtahid himself. Number 2, when the verdicts of the mujtahid is quoted by 2 just persons. Just, okay, 2 persons. Any persons? No. There is an attribute with these persons. It is what? They have to be just. Okay, what do we mean by just? If you remember, yes. Yes. What does mean adul?
They have, let me say, a good religion. They don't lie. Let me say, they have faith when they, let me say, killed something.
Okay. Just it means أن يعمل الواجبات وينتهي عن المحرمات. Just it means to act according to the obligatory obligations and to prohibit it or to refrain from the prohibited acts. This is the just. Definitely. The just cannot lie. The just cannot be hypocrite. The just cannot say something not true. Okay? So this is the just one. And also the just pray the 5 times. The just fast when Ramadan, and the just he went to he goes alaykum salam. He goes to Mecca for pilgrimage when he is able to go, and so on. This is the just person. I need 2 of them. They transfer what? they transfer the verdict. Like the people here in Sahan Imam Hussein, Muballighin, Sheikh, Sayyid and Sheikh were sitting in Iwan, for what? For giving, for ask and answer. So they are just. Number 3, when a man hears the verdict from a person whose statement satisfies with him. Now we do not have Shaykhana. Tfadal. Now we do not have two persons, two just persons, but we have what? We have one. We have one. But this one, he is just, number 1. Number 2, I am, as a follower, I am so satisfied what he is saying. I trust him. I trust him. You got this? Not anybody I can trust to tell me what is halal and what is haram, what is to do and what is not to do. No, definitely there is somebody I have to trust. Also today, nowadays, people, they sit in a coffee shop, in a taxi or in a bus, and they say it is halal or haram by themselves. I don't know how they dare to say so. Okay, number 4, by reading the Mujtahid's book of Masail. This is the 4th way to obtain what? To obtain the verdicts of a Mujtahid. By doing what? By reading the book of the Mujtahid himself. Just like Minhaj al-Salihin, Masail Muntakhaba, alright? For your marja, for your jurist. But provided that this book, it is not a fake one. This book, it should be what? The correct copy. When a man hears the number 4, by reading the Mujtahid's book of Masail, provided that one is satisfied about the correctness of the book. This book shouldn't be fake. Once I was in Jordan, in Amman, and one of the Wahhabism person, he came to me and he was asking me something, and then I told him the answer. He said, no, it is not the correct answer. The correct answer is like this and that. I told him, where do you read this? He said, I read it in your book. Then he brought me a book, and that book was what? Was incorrect. Was incorrect. I explained to him at that time. He didn't satisfied with my answer, but as a result, I told him what I know. Issue number 6. As long as a person is certain that the verdict of the Mujtahid has not changed, so I'm sure that the verdict of the Mujtahid is not changed, he can act according to what is written in what? In the book. In Mujtahid's book. And that means what? You know that the Mujtahid between a time and another, maybe he changed his opinion, or he changed some of the what we call it, usul amaliya that he has. He will change one of them because that his knowledge reached to the point that he should change this, so he will change it. According to this, he will change what? He will change the verdicts which based on this asal amali, on this base. We have to be sure that this is the verdict of the Mujtahid himself, If I'm sure that this is the verdict of the mujtahid himself, so I'll follow it. It doesn't matter to go and ask and inquire. I should read it and act according to it. All right? But sometimes, I told you, sometimes the mujtahid change his opinion, just like what happened with Sayyid Sistani when he changed some of the verdicts that in a new book they call it not توضيح المسائل. I think I have right here. It's not written. I forgot its name. Really, I forgot it. How, I don't know. Yeah. So he changed some of the verdicts. We have to go back to this book and to work accordingly. Now, and if he suspects, who is he? The mukallaf. If the mukallaf suspects that the verdict might have been changed, now, should he inquire? Should he investigate? Investigation in that matter is not necessary. Investigation in that matter is not necessary. You will say, why? The mujtahid, alaykum assalam rahmatullah. Why the mujtahid has changed his verdict? Why we shouldn't investigate? We said it is not necessary to investigate. But if you want, you can ask. If you want to ask, you can ask. Nowadays, this copy, it is, I think, the second copy for توضيح المسائل for Sayyid al-Sistani. The old one, a little bit different from this one, because they are renewing some of the issues of Sayyid al-Sistani. He himself, not somebody else. Issue number 7. If an a'lam mujtahid gives a fatwa on some matter, that this mujtahid, he is the a'lam, he gives a fatwa in such a topic, just like, for example, wearing the narrow clothes, or wearing the t-shirt with some draws on them, some paints on them. If an a'lam mujtahid gives a fatwa on some matter, his follower cannot act in that matter on the fatwa of another mujtahid. This mujtahid, he said a fatwa. You know what does it mean, a fatwa? A fatwa, it is a hukum. That hukum either halal or haram. There is no precaution in it. Just a fatwa, halal or haram. I am, as a mukallaf, I have to act according to this fatwa. I cannot go to another jurist and say, I will follow the other jurist. Why? Because he said this. Your jurist, your marja' said this with a verdict. You cannot go to another jurist. Okay? You say, so when I go to imitate another jurist, that when there is a precaution, where there is a precaution or obligatory precaution, you have the choice to go to the other marja'. But if there is a fatwa, if there is a verdict, you cannot go and imitate another marja'. Yes, sir.
This issue only to say the Sistani with the precaution I can go to another jurist?
Yes.
Only the same Sistani?
No, all the maraja, when they have obligatory precaution, That means either to act according to the verdict of this mujtahid, or to leave it. You have a choice to leave it, not to act accordingly, and to go to the most knowledgeable after him, if he has another verdict, if he has a verdict.
Now we have two jurists,
Mm-hmm.
and we have two verdicts. One of them said this is haram, and the other said this is haram.
Mm-hmm.
And I do one of them. I did it. If it is haram, it is only
First of all, you are a follower.
okay.
You know who is the most knowledgeable or not.
According to my thinking, and I asked about him, yes.
You know he is. So your act will be correct. Your act will be correct.
The other one, if my friend imitates me,
It is not your business to go over the other one and ask. We explain this. It is according to the, just like the doctors, two specialist doctors. One of them, he make a surgery vertically. The other one make the same surgery horizontal. It is their specialty. It is their specialty.
the jurists themselves, what did they say about this?
It is their knowledge. Shaykhana, it is their knowledge. They do not say that this halal, or the other ones, he said this is haram because of their whims, or because somebody saying this so and they say so. No, it is their knowledge who said so. Okay? You are welcome. So issue number 7, if an a'lam mujtahid gives a fatwa on some matter, his follower cannot act on that matter on the fatwa of another mujtahid. But if he does not give a fatwa, not a fatwa, just like what? Just like precaution, obligatory precaution, recommended, and express a precaution, ihtiyat, that a man should act in such and such a manner. Like Sistani with tatbir. Sistani with tatbir, he has what? He has obligatory precaution. He does not say haram, and he does not say it is halal. That's it. If you want to act according to Sistani, you are not going to what? You are not going to do tatbir, and at the same time you cannot say it is haram. If you do not want to act according to his verdict, you can follow another jurist who said tatbir is halal, and to act accordingly.
Can I ask a question, sorry?
Yes.
Rule number 7 and rule number 4 are applicable on what is called tab'ir? For example, a jurist who is more knowledgeable in ibadat and another is more knowledgeable in muamalat. Can we say that they are applicable on this point or not?
Shaykhana, we explained this, I think, at the 3 or 4 issues before.
No, we are talking about a point for a mas'ala, for example. A jurist who said this is halal and another say this is haram.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't debate or discuss about say a trial of fatwa, for example, ibadat or muamalat. For example, and there is a point at Sayyid Sistani, Masail, and his book. He mentions something called tab'ir.
No, this is something different you're asking about.
Yeah, I know.
We have mujtahid who is not mujtahid in all the issues, in all the matters, just like in ibadat, in muamalat, in salah, in khums, in zakah. Maybe he is mujtahid faqat in salah. Okay, I cannot follow him. What I mean here, to follow, I have two jurists, two mujtahids. Here I can follow this one or that one.
This is what I mean. we have two jurists, two mujtahids.
Yes.
One is knowledgeable in ibadat,
Mm.
another is knowledgeable in
No,
muamalat.
no. I cannot say this is a mujtahid. A mujtahid, he must be the knowledgeable person in all the verticals.
Both sides.
Yes. For example, if he says that as a precautionary measure in the first and second rak'ah of the salah, he should read a complete surah after the surah of Hamd, the follower may either act on this precaution, which is called obligatory precaution, ihtiyat wajib, or he may act on the fatwa of another mujtahid who it is permissible to follow. How can I know that it is permissible to follow the other mujtahid? If you remember, we have the 8 conditions with a jurist to be followed. If the other jurist, he has also all these 8 conditions, okay, in this case I'm going to what? I'm going to follow him. Not only that, but he is the best among the rest of the jurists. After my jurist, I'm not saying my jurist, but after the a'lam, the mujtahid al-a'lam, okay, there will be what? Another jurist, and he is the a'lam of what? Of the rest. If my jurist said it is what? It is haram or it is obligatory precaution, I have a choice to leave his verdict, not to act according to his verdict, and to go where? To go to the other one, to the other jurist. Is this understood?
Yes, it's clear.
Hence, if he, the second mujtahid, rules that only Surah Al-Hamd is enough, rules, it means verdict, not obligatory precaution, not ihtiyat. Rules that only Surah Hamd is enough, he, who? The mukallaf, the person offering prayer, may drop the second surah. Why he should, or why he can drop the other surah? According to the verdict of the second mujtahid. The position will be the same if the a'lam mujtahid expressed terms like ta'ammul or ishkal. The same thing if the mujtahid, the a'lam, he said there is ta'ammul, or if he said there is ishkal, or if he said there is what? Ihtiyat, obligatory precaution. In all these 3 terms, you have the choice. You have the choice to do what? To leave acting according, either to act according to this mujtahid, your marja', or leave acting according to his verdict and go to the a'lam after him. Is this understood, inshallah? That's all for today. Walhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wa sallallahu ala Muhammadin wa alihi at-tayyibin at-tahirin. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajal.